One, two, three, four. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Happy 5th anniversary, Siobhan Shaw. Welcome, everyone, to the Attitude Shift, a very special night as we celebrate 5 years, of shifting attitudes in the virtual red Corvette. How are you doing, Siobhan?
I am doing great. I'm all ready for my party. I've got very bright colors on. I got laid tonight. That was good.
And I have on black. You're festive. You're festive. You got the lay on. You got laid. And
I have to say that. And cheers. Happy 5th anniversary to the Attitude Shift, to Donna Butler, to my co-host for us doing this and now doing it on Google Plus Hangout, which has been exciting and fun and difficult. And we do it from our living rooms and our bedrooms. And for anybody who's never seen the Attitude Shift before, we were 4 years on Blog Talk Radio, and now we do it on Google Plus because people wanted to see us.
yeah.
I can't imagine why, because, wow. But it's fun to be able to see each other when we're talking to each other. We used to only be able to, like, phone each other and talk to each other. So every week we get to hang out on a little webcast and have the internet go down on us.
Or not a party until something gets broke.
This is right. So it's just been an amazing ride, and we've had so many amazing people come into our life, and I hope that we get the chance tonight to talk about some of them, some of the special shows that we had over the past 5 years. And I know it's difficult for a lot of people to get on Google Plus and get on a Hangout because they don't have webcams or they just don't know the technology. So we don't have as many guests as we used to. But, you know, we still have fun and we're still shifting attitudes. And we're always on our Facebook page, theattitudeshift.com, where we do all kinds of things. And Donna, I really like your little attitude shifting quickies that you're doing every day now.
Ooh, the quickies. And we do quickies because we have to shift quick sometimes. You know, sometimes you need that really quick shift. And all the shifts that we've been doing, the quickies, you know, have been real life experiences. And we pull them real raw and right on. And, you know, I'm going to do a shameless plug for our book, Journey of the Soul Car. Get that book. It will help you make those little quickies. It'll help you. It will teach you all the things. We give you the tools. The quickies are just shortened versions of what you can get if you go and get that Journey of the Soul card. Get it while it's free, people.
Is it free?
It's free. If we offer it, we'll send it.
Yeah, you can just email us or just get on our Facebook page and ask us
we'll
for a free copy of the Journey of the Soul card, and we'll be happy to send it to you, because what's most important is that you read it, you understand. It's an owner's manual or a guide. It's like a map to how to shift your attitude, and awareness is a big part of it. And as Donna said, a lot of the quickies are based on real life. Most of our shows are based on our real life or people that we've seen having some sort of bad attitude, poor attitude, unfortunate attitude, attitude. And mostly it comes down to being unaware of who we are, what makes us tick, and you know, what ticks us off. And so people fly off the handle. They have all kinds of different, you know, they're selfish, they're dramatic, they're mean, I mean, there's just so many attitudes we've covered over the years. And it's all a matter of catching yourself, being aware of your actions and your thoughts, and doing a shift.
And facing it, like you said, you know, doing that, like we say, that acid test, looking at yourself and saying, you know, I have a really bad attitude today. What am I going to do about it? Or, you know, wanting to have that pity party, go have it. Go in the room and have it by yourself. And then take a look at yourself in the mirror and say, is that working for you? That's what the acid test does. It's that bold statement. Is this really working for you? Pouting. Is it really working for you? Being angry all the time. I know from personal experience, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't. It just drains me. It just drags me down. And so I am grateful for this show. I'm grateful for 5 years of shifting, because no matter what kind of day might be going on Wednesday, I know I'm going to get to that hump and I'm going to shift gears. And usually the rest of the week, if I take what we've learned or what we've applied, usually the rest of my week, goes okay. Goes okay.
I think the acid test is probably such a vital part. And when you figured that out, you were like, basically, I've got to look in the mirror. I've got to face
me.
It's nobody else that affects your mood or your attitude. It's you. So you're in total control. And I don't think we're taught that as children. And we're definitely not taught that in school. We are always in this mode of blaming other people or turning around and judging people, or it's always somebody else's fault.
Right.
Or our feelings. Our feelings are somebody else's fault. Our feelings are not somebody else's fault.
No.
We choose our feelings.
But we choose that because it makes us feel comfortable when we have someone else to blame. I mean, I'm a really prime example. I stopped saying, you made me. You made me do this. No, I did it on my own accord.
That's right.
And so, I get in really horrific moods. And a lot of it is not so much as the people, but it's the circumstances that I find myself in, or where I'm at. And so it's not the people. And so I have to go back and look at taking that acid test and saying, really, Donna, is this what's making you feel this way? And 9 times out of 10, it's not the people, it's the what's around me. And when you can shift like that, that's a big one.
It's how we react to things, and we're human beings, so we're attention seeking. So getting attention from other people is part of our need to belong, right?
That's right.
So then we act out. We want people to be on our side. When you're.
Oh yeah.
I come home, my feet are sore. I want to tell everybody my feet are sore, or I'm having a bad day, or my boss yelled at me, or my husband is, sleeping around. I've just got to come up with things on the top of my head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we want, right, I do. And then we want people to join that bandwagon with us. We want to hear our neighbors say, as a matter of fact, my feet hurt too, And my husband,
has been shut up so we can keep talking about
right, right, right. But that's exactly what we want. You hit it on the head. We want that attention. We want people to look, and we want everyone to stop because we are in pain. And who doesn't want that? We're taught that at a very young age, that when we cry, we get a bottle. Yeah. When we pout, we get. Mommy runs to us. What is it, baby? So we know that when we pout and do things like that, we're going to get attention. So why change it when we get older? It sticks with us until we get in the mirror and go, really? How do I look right now, pouting and screaming at the top of my lungs?
At 50 years old. That's the thing. We grow up, but we never seem to grow up because we do stick with these childhood characteristics we've developed. And when I was a kid, I realized that my sisters and my mom would come running up the stairs if I cried loud enough and long enough. And so somebody would come and spend time with me instead of watching TV or playing bridge or going out. Somebody would come and pay attention to me. So as a kid, I learned how to cry, and I would get out of bed, because I was youngest. So I'd get out of bed and I'd go and stand near the door, my bedroom door, so they could hear
So
me.
they can hear you.
And if they didn't hear me, damn it, I would stand at the top of the stairs. I would cry and cry, and then I could hear somebody coming, and I'd run into my bed, and I'd jump in my bed, and I'd be waiting. And then they'd come in, and they'd sing to me or read to me or do something. Now, this is after, say, my mom used, she used to read to me. So
Right.
I've already been put to bed. I just need more attention, because I certainly hadn't got enough.
You hadn't had enough. You didn't get enough.
And I looked at my life. Since we've been doing the Attitude Shift for 5 years, we've learned so much. And I looked at my life and I realized I did a version of that throughout my entire life.
I think we all do.
Right? And I actually have a great partner because he won't give in to that demand I have to get attention from him. So if I would slam the door or pout or cry, try my crying louder and louder, he wouldn't pay any attention to it. I would get so mad because he wasn't coming in to find out.
See.
And eventually he would come in and go, "Are you done?" I can't see. I need to trim my bangs. "Are you done?" And after about 7 years of that, no, seriously, it took me a while. I'm a slow learner sometimes.
To figure it out. Huh?
It took me a while to figure it out.
I'm not coming. I'm not coming in there.
Yeah. And so then I probably went back to work in my family, right? How loud can I cry for them to hear?
Right.
Miles. What can I do to get attention from my family? I've done some seriously strange and out of the world kind of thing.
I can see that. So, no, and we should do, you know what, and that maybe is a good show, is to do that. That's one, I don't think we touched on that, huh? The crybaby syndrome?
Yeah, it's true.
So, upcoming show, let's do that. Let's do a, that's that crybaby syndrome. Let's explore that, because that is what we do. We take topics that we deal with and we turn them into great shows. We've done it for 5. Again, the magical 5. 5 years we've done this, and what's so amazing is that I'm not bored. I'm not tired. There isn't an attitude that I haven't seen that can't be shifted, and there isn't any quick solution. This is long term, that what we've been doing. This isn't something that we just shifted to overnight. And when I think about some of the shows we did today on the Facebook, has that thing called Time Hop, and today, exactly to the day, was my first entry on our Broke Wives Club page, that I talked about our first show the night before, and it was just to the day. I posted it up on my page, and it's so cool what I said. I was so excited. That same excitement that I feel at 10 minutes to 9 today, I felt, but it was back then. It was 9 o'clock your time, 10 o'clock my time. So I saw that, and I was like, wow, we really shifted a long way. I sounded like a little school girl writing a blog entry about my first, broadcast. And today, that same girl is still there, still excited about the broadcast.
You know what I love is that you can go back through the AttitudeShift.com, and there's a Blog Talk Radio button right there, and you can go to our Blog Talk Radio page. It's still up. We don't do shows on Blog Talk Radio. We were trying to do little recordings of, 10 minutes of this or something like that, but I can't get it together to do that.
And this, and pitch, right.
And look after everybody and stuff like that. So I kind of started to go away. But all our archive shows are on Blog Talk Radio.
Yep.
For 4 years, and there's some amazing
4 years.
4 years. So Um, Tell me, Donna, your favorite guest. Do you have a favorite or?
Oh my gosh, it's not so much, I guess, not so much a favorite, but shows that stick out and still holding strong is Betty Marvin.
No, yeah.
Still holding strong. Betty Marvin stole my heart. Her book was amazing. It holds a special place because I met you during the course of that time we interviewed Betty Marvin because I was in Washington State.
Oh,
Um,
really? I don't even remember that.
I
Wow.
do. I did that show from my car outside because there were so many people in my daughter's house, and I met you on that trip. I met you on that trip. So all that ties in as a very good show to me. The show where my daughter's my daughter's daughter was predicted that she would be wearing orange. That was a great show because my daughter was wondering and she asked our guest and yeah, she said she saw her with a girl in orange, a peachy orange colored dress, and one of the first pictures Haley took of her little girl was in a peachy orange colored dress, and that was just blew us away. So it's been a ride. It's been a total ride. What about you? Favorite show? Favorite guest?
Wow. I really have a hard time picking because there were just so many people that we interviewed, and I didn't listen to half the show because I was trying to produce it at the same time. No. Um, I think Betty Marvin was really interesting. There was a woman, and right now I'm drawing a blank on her name. Her husband was a famous author. Do you remember her? And she was from Beverly Hills. And
Oh, he was on a soap. I think he was on a was he on a soap?
no, he was a famous like. Oh, why did I even bring it up? Because now I'm gonna have
Because
to.
now you're gonna drive me crazy. And
Uh,
right when the show is over, I'm gonna be digging through stuff trying to find out.
I wish, but she was so interesting because she actually slept with Sean Connery.
I remember, yes. And we put, yeah, and she knew all about like Sammy Davis Jr. She knew some stuff and some little secrets. Yeah. Oh, frick, I can't think
I
of
love
it.
it's like Betty Marvin. She was part
It was
of
great. It
old
was great.
Hollywood. She lived through old Hollywood.
Yeah.
Her ex-husband was Lee
That's
Marvin.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And she was his first wife, and he was an Oscar winner. And the stories that these women brought to the table were amazing. And what I loved is that they just embraced the show. They embraced us. Compared to the lives that they lived, nobody knows anything about us, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not like maybe the president of the United States or somebody that they might have shook hands with. They hung out with Ronald Reagan probably, and here we are, and they were gracious and wise women that came on,
And it was fun. They were fun. Fun.
they were fun. And then, actually, that reminds me, we did a show about wise women, and we had a whole lot of women on that show.
Yes, that was a great show.
It was probably our top-rated show. It's still getting listens in archive 3 years later.
That's because we work it like that, And it is, no, really, it is. And when you say that people don't, know us, ... yet, but the thing is they do know us because we're your everyday person. They do know us. We're their neighbor. We're their sister. We're their, their child's teacher. That's what we are, And one guest that put it in perspective and ended up like being like a great friend and now pitch partner, Tara Kennedy Klein, put that in perspective with us when we, had her on the show and we started watching her and we became friends and watching her journey. When you look at this is what we attracted. Women like ourselves out trying to make a difference. Some of our guests are so much like us, and we even could relate to what Betty Marvin was saying without all the Hollywood glitz and glamour. As women, we could understand what she felt, you know, as she was talking and reading in her book. And I feel strong that that's what makes us so unique, where people watch us, our loyal watchers, and people that follow us, and people whose lives that we know of too. We are real. And just because you can't touch us, you know, virtually through the screen and everything, we're real. You know, we're real, raw, and right on. Authentic, and what you see is what you get every Wednesday.
Well, and I have to thank our honorary, well, he's not even honorary, Michael K. He is our
Michael K.
And he's just been an amazing support for us. He met us, and he met us online, and he follows the show, and he follows it all the time. He knows what's going on, and you know, he will be, you know, when we do get a network show, and we have 3 pitches going in by September 22nd, and I'm done by next Friday, the 19th. And I have to do the editing.
Hyperventilating.
I have to do the editing job, and that's why I'm like, now my heart's palpitating, and I'm starting to get freaked out about it because I only have a week left, and I haven't really done anything. But the thing is when, well, he's going to have a special seat in the audience. He will be our fan club president if we have any fans. But he may be our fan. Do you think?
When this is no, because we have beautiful Cynthia out there. So, and Deborah.
Deborah.
We have our beautiful sister links that we know love us because we love them so much too. Jackie, you know, we're on first name basis with these ladies. And they rock. They rock our world. You know, they give us the support that we talk about all the time that we need to give each other. And to say we all have, you know, met each other one brief moment in time, but we knew each other first all on the internet, and we met, you know, for one weekend. And to say the friendships that we've, you know, bonded with, it's just like we say, it's like a eternal toe chain, you know, always growing.
You're absolutely right, and I think that it is such a new experience to meet strangers online through Facebook, because it really is Facebook. It wouldn't be any of the other social media sites that has allowed us to develop these friendships. And, you know, we've vetted these people. We know that they're not mass murderers yet. We know they're not cyber stalkers, in which we did a show about. We know some amazing men and women across the country, around the world, in Canada, as well as the United States.
Right.
All kinds of different countries that follow our show or have been on our show. And it's an experience that if you've not been able to experience that, you need to. Go get your own show, I guess, and meet these people. But it's, I know people from all over the place. And I had a friend who had a 50th birthday last weekend, and I went to his party, and he was telling me how upset he was that I didn't have a big surprise birthday party for my 50th. And I said, don't worry about it. I said, my friends are out there. If I could collect all my friends from around the world, that would be amazing. But that's not going to happen anytime soon, right? So if Andrea from Brazil could come, and Marisol from Cyprus could come, and Donna from Louisiana could come, and Tara from Pennsylvania could come, and Cynthia from Ontario could come, and Kim from White Rock could come. Everybody I know in my life, and Christine from North Carolina, and Kim from Colorado, and Christina from Texas, and you know, Mary from Florida. If I could have all these women that I have a great online relationship with here in my house partying with me for my 50th birthday, that would have been great. But
right.
They weren't.
Right,
And
but
so
you have the next best thing.
I am grateful I have their friendship. And even like all my college friends, and even most of my friends have moved away from the town I live in. So, my life is online a lot now. And
And what, what better place, to be, really, honestly, with high gas prices, airline ticket prices, all these things as we prepare to go to New York for the New York Television Festival.
Does anybody
Really,
have like another extra $1,200 to get me to New York City from Canada? Can you believe it? I don't know how I'm going to do it.
we're gonna get it done. This is the year. But with all these things going on and everything, what a great tool Facebook is. And and a lot of people talk about the new app, the Messenger app, and all that. And I just look at it like this: you're not paying. Mark Zuckerberg gave us something that has connected and changed lives, has saved lives, has found missing children, has reunited family members, has torn apart family members, has caused people to find out about cheating spouses and locating lost loves. I mean, it's just done just about everything. So if nothing else, I'm sending a kudos to Mark Zuckerberg and say thank you, because you had every bit of a part of me being here for this. Hi.
Do you know you actually have 5 rings on? See, that's being aware. I actually was aware that
Pretty
you had
cool.
5 rings on.
I didn't take the work jewelry off, so
Oh, the blade.
hopefully they don't come looking for me. Yeah, I didn't take the work stuff off. We've been kind of laid back, but I do want to fire up about something. I don't know how much time we're rolling the show tonight, but I do need to fire up. A show wouldn't be a show without me going off the edge a little bit. And after years of shipping, I need to fire off. I need to get these pistons going, because I'm a little pissed off at what I'm seeing with the Ray Rice. I'm a football fan. I love football, and it's not that I'm a Ravens fan, I'm a football fan, and I was just really shocked to see the tape inside the elevator of Ray Rice punching the living daylights out of his then fiance Janae, who's now, after this incident, has married him and now is his wife. And when the tape was released a few days ago, it showed what went on inside of the elevator, which we've only had an opportunity prior to that to see a knocked out woman, with us wondering, well, how did she get there? That's what we saw first. Well, Monday, I think it was released, the actual what went on inside of the elevator, which made Jay-Z and Solange fight look like, geez, it just took that one out of the water. Jay-Z's probably thinking, I wish I would have had him in the elevator when Beyonce's sister jumped on my ass. Anyway, it was, it totally surprised a lot of people. I was outraged. He only had a 2-game suspension initially. Once this tape was released, he was suspended indefinitely, not only from the Ravens, but from the NFL. So her coming on yesterday, his wife Janae made a statement, and she kind of blasted the public. She said it was a private incident, and they're working on it. And then she blasted the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, for taking her husband's livelihood. She says waking up the next day after everything was like losing her best friend. And so makes you kind of wonder, we've had a show before on abuse, but there's never too many shows about abuse. But my thing is this: is it abuse when you keep bringing your ass back and getting more? I mean, you got hit so hard, and the world has seen, and he treated you like garbage. He picked you up like a discarded rag and dragged you out of the elevator, dropped you, one shoe on, one shoe off, your dress hiked up around your butt. Security guard standing there looking at you, he's standing there looking at you, and you're unconscious. You see this on tape, you know this happened to you, and yet you still marry this man. So to me, I'm looking at, okay, not saying she deserves this, but how much do you need to see? How much do you really need to see and take before you say, well, the status of being an NFL wife, A, isn't worth it. B, whatever kind of money that, you know, we could possibly have, or whatever, however many cars I can drive or bling I can wear. None of that matters if I'm getting my ass stomped. Just doesn't matter. So my thing is, we can say Ray Rice is the bad guy all day long, but Janae Rice is giving Ray Rice permission to knock her upside, and I'm saying upside her head, and the next thing we'll know, she'll be dead.
You know, I wish we had Connie Elder, the head of Go-To Bras, because she
Absolutely.
was an abuse victim. And she finally got out of it, and she could tell us what that's about. And you know, we see it around us, people that we know, and there is some level of shame involved. I think there's also a lot of women, of course, they don't want to lose the security of the husband. So, you know, they don't want the world to know that they're divorced or having issues. So that's why it's always done behind closed doors. He didn't hit her in the lobby. It was a casino, right? He didn't hit her in the lobby at the casino. They went after each other in an elevator.
Right. She spit on him. He spit on her. She came across in his space because she was on one side of the elevator and he was on the other. She entered his space. We can tell there's words. They said there's a clear audio that they were going back and forth. And she grabbed him and he hit her. Whoopi Goldberg said, chivalry is dead. Now men look at, and I'm paraphrasing, that if you hit them, they have every right to hit you back. LL Cool J wrote a song, Mama Said Knock You Out. I have taught my son, and I'm going to say, I have taught my son that he must defend himself. I have taught my son that he must defend himself. And that means against a wild girl that might be swinging at him and trying to take a piece of him. My brother, Dwayne, when we were in high school, was hit in the side of his head by a girl with a lunchbox, a metal lunchbox with a nail through it. And she swung it, and it hit my brother in the head, close to his temple. That was a bad mamma jamma, that chick. She was a big girl in the neighborhood, and my brother, you know, wasn't afraid of her. And he stood his ground, and that's what she did. But I'm saying, are we saying it's okay? I say it's okay to defend ourselves. I say if a girl is like scratching and coming at you, and people say, well, guys are big, they automatically are going to be stronger. You might not ever get a chance. Women do things too. Women carry guns, women carry knives. You know, I'm going to be the bad guy in the morning because everyone's going to say why I'm taking Ray Rice's side. It's not that I'm taking Ray Rice's side. I'm just saying, if you're in a relationship where you're fighting, both of you are fighting, somebody's going to be hurt. Someone is going to be hurt. Someone's got to walk away. Like we said today on today's Quickie, someone's got to be the one to just walk away. Walk away from the money, walk away from the fame, walk away from the ass beatings. Somebody's got to walk away, or there's going to be a death.
Well, and I agree that you have a choice, and you need to walk away and get away from that situation. Confuse the situation. It's like any argument or confrontation you have. It's probably best to take a breath and walk away.
And
My
walk
mother
away.
was very fond of saying, I'm counting to 10. And it was her way of using the situation. She didn't want to react and beat us, right? She wanted...
I can understand that.
Mm-hmm. So one of you has to be the adult. And I recently said this to some people involved in a little, confrontation. And I somehow was in the middle of it. I was kind of like became the referee, and I said there has to be an adult conversation here. And I
Right.
spoke to both parties, and they ended up having an adult conversation. And all the misunderstanding and all the problems that were building up just dissipated.
Right.
Because
Because you
somebody stood up and said, you know, I'm going to be the adult here. I'm not going to play into this and get into the gossip and play the, you know, oh, they want to talk to me. I must be important.
right.
No, I want you guys to talk to each other. It's the way it is. And if we could do that, and we could do that across the board in our personal life, in our careers, in the world politics, any kind of politics, but from nation to nation, race to race, if we could just stop and communicate.
Can't we all just get along, in the words of Rodney King? Can't we all just get along?
He's right.
But that's just too easy, you know? Then there wouldn't be business. There wouldn't be. Well, there wouldn't be jails, you know? If we all got along, then we'd put the jails out of business. We'd put the court system out of business. We'd put the hospitals out of business. We put a lot of things out of business if we just got along. So, you know, it's just what it is. As long as we are seeing these things and they're pushing things at us on television that make us think these things, we're watching these things all the time that don't show us getting along. And one of our projects that we're involved in for our pitch shows, you know, well, two different people, different backgrounds, and one of them's thrown off his mark. I mean, I'm just keeping it real, you know. You know, it's just ridiculous.
But we know for network television exactly what they're looking for.
Right. So one of our pitches is
laid
exactly
out. We have to follow that. So if we wanted to be, you know, we want to be creators of network television shows, which we do.
We got to play the game.
Follow their
wink, wink. You know, wink, wink. You know, and so it's what it is. You know, for the first time, and you know, I love how we're having this conversation because for the first time, the thing that I found to be one of the biggest challenges on television, you know, women on women, you know, fighting, women on women arguing, is now something that I'm watching. Well, it's not women on women. It's, you know, a man and a woman that just are going at it. I can now see from both sides of the fence. I can now see the very thing that I thought was not the way I wanted to go. I see now why. If you do it the right way, if you do it the right way, there can be something good that comes out of it. It doesn't have to be distasteful. If you have a good message, it doesn't have to be the touchy-feely, as they tell us that they don't want. But if you have a good, strong, powerful message to go with what you're trying to say, I can see good viewing.
There's the list of what they don't want is way longer than the list of what they do
want.
I know! Very
interesting. Is that crazy?
I'm actually going to follow the list of what they want.
I know.
And line the pitch up for that. You know.
That's right. So let me ask you, how do you feel
about
that?
We got this. You want this? We got this. You want this? You know, for one of them, that's how we're going to do the pitch.
Did you hear me?
What? No.
I said, how do you feel? We have, you know, this is our time right now. This is our fifth year. And I'm just asking, you know, how do you feel about what we're getting ready to embark on? 3 pitches and having them done by the 21st, you know?
Well,
how does that make you?
I know I could get one done. I know I could get one done. The other 2, I'm not quite sure what we're going to do and how we're going to squeeze all that in, but we might have to do something as simple as just talk to the camera, as opposed to try to put some like little trailer together or something. So you or our pitch partner Tara might have to just talk to the camera and say, hey folks, this is this idea and this is this idea, because I don't think of that in a week. Getting 3 pitches.
I know if it can be done. If it can be done, we're gonna get it done.
But
We are.
I'm very excited about it because we've been invited back, and the thing is, last year we went to the NYTVF, which is the New York Television Festival, and Lifetime and a number of other networks look for pitches through this festival, and they all show up, right? Donna, you've been there, so you can speak to this. But the thing is, we put together a pitch called Living a Via Loca, and it was for the unscripted reality show development pipeline for Lifetime Network. And we got into the semifinals. So Donna actually got to go to New York City.
Woo!
And it was great doing it, and she met all these people. And no, we didn't get into the finals and all that sort of stuff, but we did get invited back this year. And we can pretty much pitch as many shows as we want. So of course we have.
I know.
Three just off the top of our head. We probably have 24 ideas that we've played around with over the last year or so. And a lot of them are just great ideas. We just need to get them on paper and get somebody interested, and we could change the face of television. So
it's going to be great.
We're able
I am.
Again, and they're excited as well. You just talked to them at
I did.
office,
I did.
and they're very excited.
I talked to a representative from the Lifetime unscripted pipeline thing, and we had some questions to ask, and I asked how many, and they said as many as we want, and I told them that, at the time it was 2. It was just 2, and he was so excited. I feel, I know they're happy for the return of us. I think we made a really good impression last year. I think our attitudes are really positive. I think when we didn't make it to the 5 finals, I still had a blast. I still went to the parties. I still had the most amazing time because there were some great contacts made. This year, we have 3, and not only that, I am going to go into Rockefeller Center, and I am going to sit outside of NBC and just see how long it's going to take someone to come and hear what I have to say. So we hope to be able to film as much as we can of that. This all goes with, what we're saying. If you want something, you got to go get it. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to say I have arrived. And they're going to say, well, who are you? I'm going to say, give me 5 minutes of your time and you'll know who I am. And you'll know who the crew is, and you're gonna love us, and that's for real. That's how I feel that you have to do things sometimes. In the 5 years that I've been there, I can remember what Paul Martinelli, friend of the Attitude Shift, he said, push send, just push send. And so
that was another, as you were talking about favorite shows, Paul Martinelli is probably one of my favorite shows. Not only did I know him previously because I worked with Bob Proctor Group, and he was with the Bob Proctor Group at the time, but he's an international motivational speaker. He's an amazing guy, Paul Martinelli.
He is. Great guy.
Don't check it out. Anyway, just Google Paul Martinelli. It's very easy. And he did tell you to push send. Don't be afraid.
Did.
But the other thing he said, he reminded us that the Wright brothers, who flew the first airplane, made the first airplane and flew it, they didn't have a pilot's license.
That's right.
They were doing something that nobody had ever done before. They didn't know how to do it.
They didn't know how to do it.
And that's what's cool about what we're doing with pitching television shows. We
don't know how to do it.
We're not a production company. We're not producers. Well,
yeah, we are.
Some stuff, but
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're not in the business of New York City or LA. We don't know the game inside and out. We don't have an inside track. We can't just call up, the Donald and ask him to be on our show, or Barbara Walters for advice, or Steven Spielberg isn't going to come to our house for dinner tomorrow night. So we're really not. We're doing something that we want to do to bring a message to the world and have fun doing it, and to create a life that we feel can make a change in the world. Our lives can help the world along. And it's just a great attitude to have, that we can push that send button and we don't need our pilot's license.
Right. No, we don't. We don't. We don't need a pilot's license. We just need to keep the same drive and determination that we've had, and never give up, you know. And if I can say pretty much anything that I've learned from doing this show with you for 5 years, never give up. You know, when we've been cut off in mid-sentence on the show, when we first were learning the ins and outs of Google Plus and trying to get some of our guests on, we never gave up. You know, when Dr. Dream was on, Kelly Sullivan Walden, we had, 40 minutes out, and we still were trying to get on the air, and she had such a good, spirit about herself, and a good, she too wanted the show to go on. Mm-hmm. And so we made it happen. We didn't give up. And I think, like I said, out of everything I've learned in 5 years, is to never give up. It's to just never give up, especially when it's something you really want, and you taste it, and you sleep it, and you wake it. You can't, how can you give something like that up? It'd be like cutting off my right arm. It's getting close to Halloween. I'm getting gory.
I just want to say that we have some guests that we asked a whole lot of our guests we could find on our Facebook pages in the time that we thought about actually doing this, so we had like an hour to figure this out. So I want to read some of the messages, and Cynthia McDonald, she says, happy anniversary, I'm watching. Hey Cynthia, how are you?
Hi Cynthia.
Michael, our fan club president, says happy anniversary. Fran Menley, who was on a Blog Talk Radio show with us way, way in the beginning. I love her to pieces. She was with me and the Bob Proctor group. She says happy 5th anniversary. Mark Semple, we know as Coach.
Coach.
You're going to have to see in New York City when you're there. We love Coach. He says, love all you share. We'll see. He was going to see if he could get on tonight. Mary Jones, who had her own radio show.
Yeah.
She said, wish I could join you. Sounds fabulous. So many people tried to come on. Carol Brody Fleet, we send healing messages to you and your family right now. And she said to us, congratulations on your 5th anniversary and have a great show. And just now, Annabelle Gurwitch, who many of you know from the show way back, way back. I remember it very clearly. Did her in a movie. It was like a whole...
She's amazing. Yes.
Annabelle Gurwitch, she's married to Jeff Kahn, and they wrote this book called something Tomato.
You say tomato.
You say tomato. It was about their marriage. They're a very, very funny couple. We just had a great show with both of them, actually. We had 2 separate shows. And Annabelle said she, happy 5th, and she will retweet and Facebook any mention we send. So that's kind of cool.
Cool. Thanks, Annabelle.
And we just love everybody. We just love everybody.
We do. We do. I'm overwhelmed. That's great. It's good to know that not only are we being watched, but we are, people are looking at us on the Attitude Shift Facebook page, which is a great page, and just loving us, and I feel the love. It's great.
And it's the attitude that most all of our guests have. It's just great.
It is great.
So it's time to...
I know.
We've gone way over time.
Well, it was a party. We have to be the last ones to leave. We have to be the last ones to leave.
Now it's time for me to stumble home. My bed is right here.
I know. Well, I mean, what do you want to say something before I put it in there? Or?
I just want to say it's been a fantastic ride. Rolling down the highway with you, the highway of life, being your road dog, your co-pilot, the shoulder to cry on. I don't know. I am so glad I met you 5 years ago, and it was social media that brought us together. So, and we actually have hugged and met in person, and I'm excited about all the things we'll do for the rest of our lives together. The projects that we'll probably always have. We'll be 80 years old.
I know.
Somebody.
Will somebody please get NBC back on the damn phone, please?
Please, I just want one chance before I die.
Hell no, we're gonna do it big. We're gonna do this. This is it. You know, we're gonna do this. It's hard work. It's not. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's our. You know, it's not hard work. We're just gonna reach out and we're gonna grab it. We've worked for this. We've worked long and hard, ups, downs, ins, out. It's been 5 rocky, beautiful, wonderful, confusing at times, learning new things, near divorce, separation, broken ankles.
I never divorced you.
Not us. My side of the lane. I mean, you know, I'm summing up 5 years of working with you. The things that you've seen me through, the things that we've done together. You know, it's 5 years. You know, there's shows on television that don't last longer. You know, there's marriages that don't last longer than what we've lasted, Siobhan. Shit. Oh.
Excommunicated. They will excommunicate you.
I am so in trouble. Okay. With that.
Just like I didn't say the F word on a show previously. She said stuff.
I said shizny.
Shizny. It's just bad audio, folks.
That's all bad.
Oh, she's gonna be excommunicated. Her bishop's gonna hurt.
I have a new bishop. I have a new bishop. I gotta tell you about that next week. Next week. In the meantime, you have been parked somewhere that we've been parking for 5 years. I hope you enjoyed the ride as much as we have for the last 5 years. And no matter how big this thing gets, no matter what happens out of New York or anywhere else, we will always be shifting our attitudes. We will always shift with you all. It might not be on a Wednesday night. It might be every night of the week. Who knows? But we're always going to be ready to shift with you all. Thank you all so much, from our guests to our fans, to our listeners, to everybody that's had a hand, our families that put up with us doing this. You know, I shut my house down, you know, for an hour, you know, every Wednesday. So thank my family. I love you guys. Siobhan, I love you so much. You are my sister. And with that being said, let's just park this baby before I start crying. And we'll see y'all in the garage next week. Happy anniversary. Peace out.